right, what's going on, everybody? We are back another Monday edition of the live stream. My name is Monte Weaver. For those of you all that may be brand new here, and for those of you all that hang out with me every single week, glad to have you guys back again. We are streaming everywhere. We're opening it up a little bit. We tested it out last week, uh, bringing in our Amazon Live audience, and so we're doing that again. So everyone that's watching on Amazon Live, welcome. Everyone watching on YouTube, welcome. And on Facebook, welcome. So we are got all systems go. Little got my behind the scenes camera up, so you guys can see that we got a full like production going on. And I think I'm gonna have to bring in someone just to help me manage the production of this, so I can focus on the live stream. Tonight we are going to be talking about it. Let me shout out my Amazon Live audience over here. Y'all are like 40 deep already, so that's pretty cool. Um, Before we get into tonight's um, show, I want to let you guys know that it's 2022. This is the first show of 2022. Happy to have you guys here. And I got some big plans and ideas in store for how I want to do these weekly shows. Some of that has been input from you all, and some of that has just been some of the things I want to test out and try. And also, kind of my thoughts of where live streaming and video and this tech. Uh, Space is kind of going. And so I want to bring some elements into this live stream over the course of the year. So if you guys have feedback and suggestions of things, definitely feel free to let me know. If you're in the chat, definitely let me know that you're watching, where you're watching from. I'm excited for my first guest of the year. We're going to be talking about one of the things I want to do specifically for the show is improve my overall branding and my overall graphical look and everything that goes along with it. So as you guys have probably seen over the last 4 months here, I've been using one of my favorite platforms called Melon to go live. And so they've been a great sponsor of the show. But one of the things I want to do is kind of bring in some more of the visuals to make it really look like one of those production shows that you guys may see on TV. So that's kind of where I want to go. And one of the people that I personally reach out to, and one person that I follow a lot of his content around graphics, is Bradley Vinson, aka Bradley Teaches. So he is my special guest tonight. So if you guys have questions as it relates to graphics and branding, you want to make sure that you're paying full attention tonight and make sure that you post those questions in the comments section. Chris Gloss, good to see you here. Good to see you here on YouTube. And so without further ado, let me bring my guy onto the screen, Mr. Bradley Vinson. What's going on, Bradley? Good to see you. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. It seems like it's been forever since we talked, man. So it's good to see you in person, so to speak, now. And yeah, just happy to be here, man. Hang out with you tonight.
Yeah. It's we get a chance to kind of connect on like a weekly, almost bi-weekly basis, and so with the holidays and everything, it's kind of good to kind of step back and relax a little bit before kind of get back in the swing of things. I got a new baby girl here, so I have no schedule yet, so
That's cool.
uh,
Oh yeah,
so
you
uh,
got a schedule. It's hers.
yeah, her schedule, right? So,
Yeah.
just get back in the swing of it and, getting back in front of the camera. And it's one of those things that I've kind of missed is like turning on the camera and going live and bringing some value to the audience. But glad to have you here, sir. My graphics guy, and no better way for me to kind of start off the year because one of the things I've told you is like, hey, I want to up my graphics. I want to look a little bit better. And I remember, kind of watching you create content. I was like, this guy really knows what he's doing. But before we get into all of that, introduce yourself, Bradley, to the audience. Let them know who you are, what it is that you do, and we'll get started.
Yeah, well, I'm Bradley Vinson, also known as Bradley Teaches, but best known as Alana's Pawpaw. And at its core, I teach content creators how to enhance their videos with animations and graphics. And usually use Keynote or other free or very cheap software packages. But I show them how to get professional results with easy to use graphics packages. So, or even some graphics packages. I haven't been on video for a while myself. Or graphics packages that people don't typically use for animation. So just enjoy doing that and showing people how to do some cool things with simple tools at its core. That's it.
Yeah, when you said Keynote, like I remember kind of being on the Mac side, and then I kind of went PC side, and now I've come back on the Mac side. And so Keynote was one of those softwares that I used to use, but you never really heard a lot of people talking about it.
Right.
And then when you started really talking about Keynote, I was like, "What is this software? Like, can it really do all this stuff?" And then I was like seeing what you were creating with that platform, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, this guy really knows what he's doing." Um, Bradley, you do live streaming just like I do and content creation.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I have seen a lot of newer streamers do is like come into the space and like start creating these cool graphics. And it really does look like it's a TV broadcast. What have you kind of seen as this evolution of like live streaming? But it's like more enhanced now because people like you actually have the skill set of like making it look better.
Yeah, I think really where it came from, quite frankly, is COVID. I mean, we hate to say the word, but it has spawned a lot of new things as far as technology is concerned. A lot of people, were physically going to conferences and doing speaking engagements and things like that. And when we had this forced stay at home mandate, right? They were still trying to figure out how to reach their audiences. And so people were trying to get those in person speaking engagements and conferences looking as smooth remotely, right? And one of the ways to do that was to enhance the graphics or, be more brand conscious. And so as more people were using these software packages, especially even Zoom, right? The
Hmm.
typical talking head with with the beach in the background, that stopped flying, right? You got to go higher
Right.
quality than that. And so because more people were at home and there was actually a comparison now, right? So if I had a beach background, it was only 5 people using Zoom, that might be cool. But if I had a beach background as a speaker and there's 80 other speakers, I got to do something better than that, right?
Right.
I can't go with the
Right.
defaults and the cheesy stuff, as I call it. And so the game started to gradually be upped and upped and upped. I mean, including microphones, cameras, better lighting. So all those things have kind of evolved over the past roughly 2 years. And you have to really, get that little extra in there. And graphics is an easy way to do that.
Yeah, and there's so many programs now popping up too that makes it easier, right? Like I used to use one called Design Bowl for the longest time, and then I know Canva is like one of the most popular platforms out there. So
Right.
I feel for my graphic designers, my hardcore graphic designers, because my sister, she's one of them too. And then you have all these platforms coming out, they kind of it's another avenue for people to kind of go to, which are and they're great platforms, but I still find that people like yourself just have this visual eye because the templates look good, but like someone like yourself knows how to kind of enhance those templates. And so, when I'm kind of looking to upgrade, I'm like, where can I kind of stand out a little bit better than someone else? Because you go to YouTube, you can kind of tell, oh, they used a specific template with that
Right.
was in that program, and you can just tell. But do you think there is a value in standing out above templates, or like how do you feel about templates in general and just a little bit more on top of that?
Yeah, and not to be snobbish, I mean, but years ago, I mean, because I've been a graphic designer, multimedia designer for nearly 30 years. And I remember when the desktop craze came out, right? And you had secretaries and assistants now making brochures and magazine ads for businesses. And as a graphic designer, that kind of irked me at first, right? I'm educated, I'm talented, but now you got all these little software packages where people think they can design. And I've kind of gotten over myself with that. There's room for everyone to do everything. And some people are just straight up DIY people, and that's cool. I don't knock that. And that's really honestly why I use some of the simpler packages to show people how you can still do custom, good looking stuff with standard templated software. Because I think overall, as a designer, and I'll speak as a designer versus somebody that just uses the software, a designer looks at these software packages as a tool. It's no different to me than a screwdriver or a hammer or a pencil. I'm going to make that tool do what I want. That's what
Hmm.
makes me different than another person that just says, "Oh, give me the blue one," and the animation comes in from the right, and I got to use this font. I'm cool, right? That's the difference. I mean, I can jump in Canva or Keynote, like I usually do, and you don't know it came from Keynote. People
Right.
thinks it, might think it came from Final Cut Pro or whatever else, right? And I'm like, no, that's Keynote. Oh no, it's not Keynote. Yes, it's Keynote, right? And so I think that's the kind of edge that I have and other designers have that the typical user might not have. But the software packages do, reduce that barrier to get some quality stuff. But a
Mhm.
lot of times I can tell Canva from a mile away. Honestly, I can tell Keynote from a mile away when somebody doesn't really do the little extras, right, to make it stand out a
Mhm.
little bit more. So, yeah, but I think that's the edge. The software is good, but I think that little edge of being a designer and having the experience and walking in saying, this is a tool. I'm not going to let you spit something back out at me. I'm going to make you do something that I'm thinking about is the
Right.
difference usually.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Good to see everybody here showing up.
Hey, hey,
Michael
y'all.
in
Hey,
the
hey.
chat. Good to see Phil in the chat. BAU Creative Productions. Happy New Year. Good to see you. My guy Chris Giles is in the chat. Houston Professional Photography. They agree with you. The platforms are a good starting point. Uh, the rest is the eye of the artist. Good to see everybody on Amazon Live as well. Bradley, one of the platforms that I kind of play around with is this tool called Thumbnail Blaster. It allows me
Mhm.
to do some pretty cool stuff. But the creatives, the people like yourselves, you guys know how to create like things like we want, but we just don't know how to do it. And I
Right.
remember you creating one of these ESPN templates that what's the name of the show?
Part of the interruption.
Yeah, pardon the interruption.
Yeah.
And you created that template, and I was like, it was I've seen that design, and I was like, hold on, that even can be created. I have seen the CNN type of designs, and you can create like pretty much anything we can think of. Um, I want to let people know, like, you guys got to check out Bradley's YouTube page because he walks you through this as well. Hence, Bradley teaches. So if you want to actually learn how to do it, but sometimes I find it just faster to do it or have someone else do it because you actually like you taught me a lot about like the bugs and all these other little things that you don't really think of. You see it on TV, but you
Right.
don't know that you actually need it. Can you kind of talk about some of these extras per se that sometimes get overlooked?
Yeah, I mean, graphics are to enhance the content that you already have. And if anything that people need to remember, I'll say this, and I used to tell people when they make logos, right? If your logo doesn't work in black and white, adding color is not going to help it,
Mhm.
right? So if your video is bad, adding a graphic ain't gonna help it, right? So if your content is good and you just need something to enhance it, graphics are awesome for that. But one of the simplest things people can do is add a logo bug. In the industry, it's called a logo bug. Some people might call it just a logo or that little graphic you typically see in the bottom corner of the screen. If you watch any TV station long enough, you're gonna see a logo bug, but
Mhm.
they're almost unconscious to you, right? Because they're like kind of a translucent white. NBC uses the full peacock color sometimes. HBO, right? And it's telling you who that video belongs to, but it's not punching you in the face. And
Mhm.
those logo bugs are great for that. As you see now, I have a permanent logo bug right now attached to my back wall, and I actually have it velcroed on where I can pull it off and put up my BV back there, right? And so
Oh,
I'm
nice.
always branded. So no matter if you take 2 seconds of this video or 3 minutes of this video, you're gonna know who it belongs to because you see my logo bug on it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the key to it. And it's so simple. A one or two color version of your logo, one color preferable. But just even type, right? I could just put Bradley Teaches in the corner, right?
Mhm.
So that's that little logo bug that's going to identify that video as belonging to you. But that's the simplest thing anyone can do, and it goes. I mean, it's worth its weight in gold, right?
Yeah.
Based on the effort you put into it.
Yeah. Bernard, I can't remember if I shouted you out, but I got to make sure I shout you out because I keep seeing this big orange super chat on YouTube. So I got to make sure I shout
Yeah,
Bernard out
Brene. Yeah, appreciate that.
because
I
Bernard
think she
always
did
shows
that
up.
on my channel, and I didn't even know that I had super chats. So So that was pretty
Renee
cool. But
is
thank you so
always showing up supporting. I
always
appreciate that.
showing up. Yeah.
And then on Amazon Live, we got Miss First Lady Andre, and then we got Marcus with the follows on Amazon Live. Appreciate you guys. I definitely see everything that's going on, y'all. So my eyes are scanning back and forth across everything that's here. Um, Bradley, Bradley, and I'm going into branding. Can you give me your definition of branding, Bradley? Because I've heard graphics and pictures and images and
Yeah.
logos and everything, but branding is different. Can you give me your definition of branding and what people should be thinking about for this new year?
Yeah. To me, branding is at its core. Branding is just identifying the content for who owns it, right? But it's also kind of putting forth a an attitude or a feel of what you want people to feel, right? Because right now I'm using kind of purples and blues. Blue means, confidence and stability and stuff like that, right? So all those things kind of go into your brand. And quite frankly, I'm gonna let you guys behind the curtain a little bit. My logo has glasses. I don't really need glasses sitting this close to my camera because I can see everything. But right, to stay on brand, I bought me a pair of lenses to look like I'm wearing glasses. And so all of that is the brand, right? The kind of regular guy. Um, I'm a teacher. I love to teach, and just plain kind of guy, right? And so all those things roll into the brand. The color, the feelings you want to evoke, the graphics, all those things are your brand. Because when I want to be Bradley Vinson, I'm not going to be wearing this shirt or whatever else, right? But I want to be Bradley Teaches. I got the black rim glasses. I got the logo bug. I got my colors. And so all those things go into your brand. So it can be graphic sense, but I think it's the overall package of you trying to evoke an emotion and a feel for your audience. So
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
those things.
Yeah, I remember a buddy of mine, Les. He's actually in our MMC community, and he was talking about the colors and the psychology of just colors in general. So people that are, in that phase of branding or rebranding is something to think about. And I even saw something come out here recently on social media, like the big the tech companies and how their logos have changed over the years, and that basically the messaging was
Right.
changing over the years. So it was pretty interesting to kind of look at that post.
Well, and think about it, you're telling your audience something, whether it's intentional or not.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. And so you need to get in front of that and be in control of what you're trying to tell them visually as well as what's coming out of your mouth, right? So you have
yeah,
to really be in front of that, be in control of that.
yeah. Miss Deidre, good to see you here on Facebook. Roan Wilkerson is watching in on. He's like watching on both. He said 100% agree. Uh, it's always fun. I appreciate y'all that watch on both because sidebar, I do that sometimes too. So any of you guys that live stream, like there's a couple people like I'll pull the person up on YouTube and I'll be watching them on Amazon Live. I'm like, why am I watching them in two places? So,
Right.
but I appreciate you guys because I've done that
I
before.
think it's kind of the tech in you too, making sure none of them are broken.
Yeah, that's
Everything's
it.
up and running. So yeah.
Yeah, especially when you got all these buttons that you got. It's like we create more work for ourselves sometimes as live streamers.
Yeah, we do.
Houston Professional Photography piece says 70 people on Amazon Live outstanding. Yeah, Amazon Live is one of my favorite platforms to live stream to, and that's one of the things that we're going to be testing out more this year. Um, I have to make sure that we talk products on Amazon Live. So we are going to do a rapid fire Q&A of Bradley's products, like his must-have products. So if you guys are on Amazon, you can kind of see some of those products, and we'll get to that here shortly. If anybody wants to jump on the Amazon Live and kind of hang out over there, because we do talk a lot about tech, like it's like part of what we do as live streamers and creatives and all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you guys check us out over there on Amazon. Rome Wilkinson says, I am a Houston professional photographer on YouTube. So we gotta definitely check you out too.
Cool.
Bradley, you got started on YouTube. Was it 2020? Feels like time is flying. Was it
Yeah,
2020 or
it was
2021?
2020. I started my YouTube channel on my anniversary, June 20th, 20. No, I mean, was it 2021? I think it was 2021. I hadn't had the YouTube channel more than a year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And you started putting up these well you started teaching in these Facebook groups. You started
Yeah.
like sharing your knowledge there.
Well, it was pretty crazy. It was just kind of, COVID boredom. I'm sitting at the house and it's like I had this software package that I had purchased off of AppSumo 100 years ago, and now I'm sitting at the house, so I might as well start using it. And there's a large nurturing community there. I love that community. And I was just in there hanging out, and someone said, "Hey, I was trying to do this with Keynote, and I couldn't get it to work." And I said, "Keynote? Nobody used Keynote. I hadn't used Keynote in almost 10 years." And so I jumped on Keynote, figured out their problem, and made a little video. I said, "Oh, this is kind of fun." So I made another little video and another little video, another little video. And not long after that, Bradley Teaches was born inside the group. Because I was just Bradley teaching stuff, right?
Right.
And then as time went on, I came across Monte. This is, when did I meet you? It wasn't too,
Yeah. Somewhere
2020-ish, 19.
somewhere in
Yeah.
one of these groups.
Because it was after COVID, whenever
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was after COVID. And after COVID started. And I remember seeing a post from you that said, "I am leaving Facebook and going to YouTube because nobody can find my videos on Facebook." And I took that to heart and made a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
And pretty much the rest has been history from there. I mean, I started doing digital products, did a couple of webinars and courses, and just kind of started rocking and rolling from there. Yeah, but
yeah,
it was I literally have a community created business. I was just helping folks with a problem that they had, and they decided they wanted to start paying me for it.
yeah. Is
So I
that
started
correct?
doing more and more, and yeah, the rest
The
is history.
power of video. Yeah, you guys, if you have not turned on this video camera, I'm gonna keep harping on it all year. Turn on this video camera, and put your knowledge out there because people will respond to it. We've got some questions coming in, Bradley, off of the Amazon Live side, so I want to make sure we get to these.
Okay.
Marcus says you spoke about the free options like Canva, but what about the free versions from Adobe?
I haven't run into any free Adobe stuff. The only software that I've seen that kind of rivals Adobe is Adobe Photoshop. There's a web-based version of an app that's called Photopea, and it's not made by Adobe, but it's very Photoshop-like. That's pretty much the closest thing to any Adobe product that I've seen that's web-based or free. Because I have the Adobe suite, and quite frankly, because I have the suite with all the stuff in it, I'm not really sure what they have for free and what's not. You know what I mean? Because I
Mhm.
have everything, so I'm not sure which individual little apps may be free out there somewhere. Um, yeah, but I don't think Adobe has free stuff.
Okay. Another question from Lori. What's going on, Lori? I remember you from another live stream popping in here. Lori says, "What is your take on lower thirds?" Now, Lori, I would have some lower thirds, but I had to switch platforms, so I don't have my lower thirds tonight. But I would have lower thirds on here. But
Yeah.
Bradley, I'm gonna let you take that question.
Yeah, I love lower thirds. Lower thirds are great for following up content that you may be saying. So I might say, "Hey, I'm Bradley of Bradley Teaches. Drop by my website, blah, 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 blah." And I can put my website in a lower third. Now, here's a misnomer or a definition I want to give you of what a lower third really is. A lower third is a position on the screen. It's not necessarily a graphic, even though people call it a lower third graphic, because I can put that graphic anywhere on my screen, right? Lower third means it's in the lower third of my screen, but I know what you meant. Yeah, so I usually use that graphic to re-emphasize something I'm saying. Sometimes I'll have a call to action in it, where I'll say, it might just say Bradley Teaches, then it might say bradleyteaches.com, then it might say buy me a coffee slash whatever if people want to give me some money, or so it's like a little call to action like that. I think it's great as long as it's enhancing what you're doing. Like I said, it's not the core of what you're doing, it's enhancing your content. So yeah,
Hmm.
so I like lower thirds.
Yeah, you hit it. It's like that. It's the enhancing part of it.
Yeah.
What you guys don't know yet is that Bradley's gonna be working on my graphics package for the show. So you guys are going to be starting to see like this custom graphics for the show. because it's one of the things that I really want done, and I want it done right. Because I've tried in the past. If anybody's followed me over my live streaming career, matter of fact, I was going through some old files, Bradley, and I saw this video I did like in 2017. I had like lower thirds, like it was my version of it. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
it's
ahead
all
of my
good.
time. There was a whole bunch of people doing live streaming and had custom, but I was like looking at it now. I was like, ooh, that needed some work. Bradley's gonna be working on that for me. Let me see here. I did see a follow up from Marcus. Marcus said Adobe Spark is a free app. Do you use any app base? I know you're heavy on the you know.
Yeah, I'm heavy on actual software because I don't like to have any hindrances between me and doing my graphics, like, internet account that might go down. I use Canva. I've used Spark. Now, I'm a straight shooter. I'm Bradley Teaches. I've used a bunch of stuff. Apps like Spark, it doesn't have good editing where I can say, hey, I want a box that's this size. I gotta really fight with it and do different stuff. Um, so I've used it. I haven't used it extensively to the point of making video graphics with it. Um, I mean, frankly and personally, I love Keynote. Canva is good. There's a program called Easel that's pretty good. There's a lot of them in that kind of Canva genre that are pretty good for making graphics. But essentially, if you're gonna, if you have something that can make a PNG graphic, you're good. So use what you're comfortable with. As long as it can save it as a PNG file with transparency, you're good. All of them might not be able to export animations, but at minimum, you can do a logo bug or something like that. So it's kind of like what you're comfortable with and what you can make your software do. Like I said, it's a tool. Don't let it spit something back out at you that you don't know how to manipulate.
Yeah, you guys make sure you check out Bradley's YouTube channel, Bradley Teaches, on YouTube. Do a search, he'll come right up. Um, because Bradley, I know that you've done a lot of videos where you've actually like walked through specifically how to create some of these graphics. So you guys will find a lot of value there. Let's see here. What else we got? You guys are it, something about bringing in the Amazon Live audience. Last week, I noticed this huge uptick in like all my platforms. I don't know what it is about Amazon, but like Amazon like just brought everybody to the show tonight.
They're
I think we
ready.
have
They're ready.
yeah, we have over 100 people watching live. So it's a little bit different experience trying to moderate all the comments, but I'm happy to see all the comments because how many of y'all have started with zero? And those of you that started with zero, I definitely encourage you to keep going because you will get more than zero viewers and comments and all that good
Yeah,
stuff. Geraldine, good to see you, Geraldine. She says, hello, I love Bradley Teaches videos. I've learned so much. Um,
appreciate it.
Rome says, post the YouTube channel. I will definitely do that for Bradley's YouTube channel. Rome says it's like Photoshop, but you can't run actions or plugins. I think that was in reference to the Spark. Um, Rome also said affinity photo good for beginners as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's something. I think there's one called Resolve. I mean, like I said, use what you're comfortable with as long as you can save it in, I call it letterbox format, widescreen format, and it's proportional to your video. And let me give you a tip real quick. Anybody that's even halfway graphics inclined, do this first. Take a picture of yourself in your video window. Like I see myself here right now. I would do my keystroke to do a screen capture where I see myself where I normally am. Bring that into your graphics package and design over yourself. So when you save that graphic, you know where things are placed and you don't have to keep tweaking it and moving stuff back and forth. I call that my secret weapon graphic. This is basically a screen capture of you in your setting, in your video screen, bring it into your graphics package and design around yourself. If you're in a kind of position like I am, right? I'm kind of a talking head uh, presenter, so I don't move a lot. I'm usually in this exact spot. And so I can make a sidebar graphic and I know exactly where it is. So when I do that, I'm pointing at it, right? I don't
Mhm.
have to inch it over a little bit and all that kind of stuff, right? So take a screen capture of yourself and kind of design around yourself and see how your graphics fit with your skin tone, with your background, with your other colors in your thing, and do that, right? And it can help you work through that. You don't have to keep tweaking and saving and inching it over a little bit and all that kind of stuff, right? So
Yeah.
use that secret weapon graphic to do that. That's
Yeah,
what I call it anyway.
I remember when you said that to me, and especially like as a lot of us were starting on Amazon Live, and, sometimes the live button it'll natively show, like when you guys are watching live stream, how you see a live button or that platform's little intricacies, and you kind of got to work around it for your graphics. And you said like take a picture of it so you know where those buttons are. That way you can place you know your graphics around that, and it's not like overlapping, and it just looks so much better. And I was like, man, that is genius. Like, why did I think of that?
Yeah, the
Right?
simplest things, yeah.
Yeah, those simple things. Got an Amazon Live customer that just started following. Doesn't show me your name, but I appreciate you following. Got Michael over here. Oh, let me go back up here. I got on the YouTube side. I didn't forget about your YouTube. I do not want to mispronounce your name. I'm going to say T. Okay, I'm going to say TM for your initials. It says, "What's the pricing for the live stream design package?" Bradley, you have that on your website?
Um,
Was that custom? Are you doing it still? Bradley's
yeah,
been a
I
busy
was
man,
doing
though.
them for a while. I would say reach out to me because I'm still trying to figure out how much of that I'm going to be doing this year. Um, so yeah, instead of coaching and things, I mean, man, it's like trading time for money. How
Yeah,
much of that
yeah,
you gonna do? But I'm definitely open for you to reach out to me. We can work out something. And quite frankly, I'm increasing all my prices for that because yeah, I don't
okay,
want to do a sales pitch. Yeah, but
yeah,
reach out to me and we'll see what we can do.
yeah. Let's see here. Michael Fair says, "What do you think of QR codes, and how do you make them look good graphically?" Ooh.
Yeah, QR codes are best used in black and white, right? Now, if you're going to put them in your video, I would put them black on a white rectangle. Or if your background is plain, right? Because if you can control your background, control your lighting, you can do like if I put the QR code over me, like right
Mhm.
here, I can just do a white that's transparent in the background, right? And that can be scanned. But here's the funny thing, QR codes are really meant to be dark on light. So you have to
Mhm.
experiment with that. Do one, put it on your screen, see if it works, right? Um, and just, I personally don't use QR codes. Um, I'm not into really blocky kind of graphics that don't enhance the overall look. And I would really be thinking about what is the purpose of the QR code? Where are you taking people to, right? Are you trying to get them to join an email list or something like that? Versus, hey, click this to go to my website. And
Mhm.
it might be cooler just to put it in the lower third and just say www.mywebsite.com, right? So
Mhm.
kind of think about it how it looks in your video and how that's going to set you apart from other people. So if it's really something you must have, yeah, I mean, just put it on the screen and see how it feels.
Mhm.
There's no real great way to do a QR code because it's basically a black and white graphics at its best, right? I've seen them with the little icons in the middle and gradient colors and whatever. But essentially, it's black static on a white background.
Okay.
So put it on your
Yeah.
screen and see how it feels to you.
Yeah, that's good info. Um, Advent Flame Media says, "For my live stream, I rely heavily on PowerPoint and DaVinci Resolve for my animated graphics for my church. I actually use a lot of Google Slides. I have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of Google
And
Slide
I've used
templates
Google
too.
Slides before. It's cool. Here's the thing. Here's I mean, because I'm a Mac guy, not poo-pooing PCs, but here's where Keynote, I think, beats every other software package at that level, just because of a couple of features that it has. One is probably the biggest feature that it has that the other ones don't. Subtracting a shape from a shape. Nobody else does that natively. Where I got a rectangle, I can put a rectangle on top of it and cut a hole in it.
Mm,
No other software does that natively vector based, right? Photoshop can do it, just select and delete, right? But Canva can't do it. PowerPoint can't do it. I think DaVinci Resolve may be able to do it, and so there's really no oh, it does do it now. Okay. So I just got corrected. So PowerPoint will
Oh,
cut a shape from a shape. Now, I know you can export and have the shape not be there. But yeah, if it will subtract the shape from a shape, is cool. I think the PowerPoint animation sequence is a lot more daunting than the keynote animation sequence. But I've shown people how to do things in PowerPoint too. I mean, PowerPoint is the PC version of Keynote, or vice versa.
okay.
Because I'm not all that PC Mac war stuff. Yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but PowerPoint and Keynote are essentially the same software package on different systems. And so yeah, if it can cut a shape from a shape, I dig it. I just like the way graphics look coming out of Keynote versus how they look coming out of PowerPoint. And I'm not
Mm,
sure why they have that kind of look. It's just kind of weird to me how graphics come out of PowerPoint. So that's why I don't
okay.
really use it either. So
Anybody that wants to learn Keynote, check out Bradley's YouTube channel.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
and the same kind of things can apply to PowerPoint because I use the animation palette. Just if you find a similar animation, use that one. So it
mhm.
still works.
Got Norm in your YouTube side says, I am a techie. I have no artistic ability. Same here. What is a good way of connecting with a graphic guy that can design a website, create a brand graphic for our church website and live stream?
Yeah, I think to me, and that's why I don't take a bunch of clients. To me, it's kind of almost relationship building when you have that much stuff. Because as a graphic designer, multimedia designer, I've learned throughout the years that nobody knows what they like. Everybody knows what they don't like.
I can
And
attest to that.
so, as a designer, I have to get you to a point where we're working together. So I'm not doing 8 of these before we find the one you like, right? And that's really in the talent of a good designer, um, helping that client get to as close to, yeah, that's what I was thinking, versus a bunch of what I don't like. Very rarely do you have somebody just walk up to you and tell you what they like. Everybody can tell you what they don't like. And so typically what I have people do is I give them homework. Go find other stuff that you kind of like. It ain't got to be exact, but I kind of like that design. I kind of like this animation. Then we can start working because I'm getting you more in that frame and that mindset of kind of like versus what I don't want. And so
Yeah.
find you a designer that can do that for you, and you can probably get that project going. I don't have a team of designers where I can say, hey, call John, hey, call Jim. But I'm also not competitive either. I want people to go where they're comfortable. You can contact me if you want to. I heard that Fiverr is okay. I've heard that some freelancer, I think the name of it is Elance
Okay.
website. So I'm all for getting people what they want. And sometimes that's not me. But I am open if you want to talk to me, and I might be able to help you find somebody else if we don't work out. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's the best thing.
Yeah, that's kind of been the thing too. It's something about showing up on video like this, right? Like, quick sidebar, me and teaching mode, real quick. Like the fact that like we show up on video and just kind of talk through our expertise creates demand for services, or hey, can you come speak at this event? Like it just creates this just by showing up on video. And I know for me, like turn down, or I'll refer a lot of projects off now just because I just can't handle the demand as much as I would love to work on certain projects. Just there's not enough hours in the day. So if you guys do need that assistance, like we are definitely vehicles that can point you toward
Right.
people that we, would recommend. Cause like I said, I was like, hey, I need help. So like I kind of know Bradley a little bit closer than some of y'all. So like I kind of can force Bradley's hand to make me some graphics. But
Indeed, indeed.
on
Yeah.
on a normal day, Bradley would probably tell me like, hey, I just can't really do it right now. But there are a lot of good people out there in the space. I'm gonna get Marshall Fox on one of these days here. I gotta see. I know
That's a
Marshall
good
doesn't
brother.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't do it either. He's swamped, but like
Yeah.
he's got a great community of people that
Yeah.
he's teaching his skill sets to. So But there are some good people out here in this space for sure. Um, let me see. Let's do another question or two. Lewis, thank you for following me on Amazon Live. We're going to jump into a little tech rapid fire here. Noel, good to see you. DJ Strick, good to see you.
What's up,
Uh,
y'all?
Question from Steve Worthy. When is it too much for graphics and lower thirds? I have seen situations where there's too much. Steve, first, let me tell you, I love that question comment because that's how I feel. I feel like there was nothing and then it became way too much
Yeah.
and people do this overload thing, but I don't know how to define that. So I am definitely interested to hear your take on that, Bradley.
To me, I would say if people thought about their graphics or their video more like a billboard and less like a book, I think they would do better with their graphics. And so, what I mean by that, a billboard is meant for you to read it as you're passing by it at 70 miles an hour and get the point across, right? So, if I have a lower third on my screen that has to sit on the screen for 3 minutes for somebody to read all the text in it, that's too much. If I have a lower third graphic that can't be easily read on a phone,
Hmm.
it's too much text and it's too small. If I have a lower third graphic that's using a serif font, I don't care what nobody says, text is meant to be read, READ. It shouldn't be fancy to the point where people can't read it. Look at YouTube, look at Facebook, look at Instagram, look at Twitter. They all use sans serif, which means no feet font.
Hmm.
Times New Roman is a serif font. Helvetica and Arial are sans serif font. Sans, no, serif feet, no feet. That's all it means. Make your text easy to read, make it legible, make it big enough to be read. And all those things will make you use less of it. Right? And so when you start thinking about it like that, like even if I do a sidebar and I might have 8 points in my thing, I'm not going to show more than 2 points at a time.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Um, if I'm, if I'm doing a church service, and here's the thing, I think, and forgive me for this tangent, but one of the groups of people that came home and had to start producing and showing people content from home were churches. And one of the biggest mistakes that churches made initially, and I think it's kind of self correcting now, they were using image magnification, which means blown up image, magnified, that they have on a screen at their church that's 800 inches big and trying to reproduce that on this,
Mm.
right? And so they had full songs on the screen, 8 lines of scripture on the screen. And when it's as big as a 10-foot wall, I can see it. When it's on
Right,
my phone, I can't see that, right?
right.
And so they had a hard time trying to get up to doing the stuff right. And I think that that trend is starting to change now because I've been working with a lot of churches to kind of help them. Okay, you got to think about mobile and think about this and think about that.
Mhm.
So, with I forgot what the question was.
The too
I
much
went on
lower
my tangent and
thirds.
forgot. Yeah, but too much text, right? So yeah, if your graphic gets past the lower third and it's meant to be a lower third and it's starting to cover your face and all that kind of stuff, it's too much. If your graphics become the focal point of your content and you're not doing a cartoon or you're not an animated video, it's too much.
Yeah.
You are the content. Those graphics and lower thirds and sidebars and bugs are meant to enhance, not to take over. And so just keep that in mind. Make the fonts a little bit bigger than you think they should be. Make them sans serif, high contrast compared to
Mhm.
either your video background or put a colored bar behind it. And I think those things will help you do less. And it's okay to have 2 or 3 slides of text, right? Make it bite sized where they can read it in less than 5 seconds, preferably, but definitely less than 10 seconds, right?
Mhm.
And kind of work with it like that.
Yeah. Don't y'all use these curvy fonts and just be having everything flash across the screen and we can't keep track. because
The
we
fancier
too
that it
busy
is,
looking
the
at
bigger
stuff.
it needs to be. If it's going to be a script font, it needs to be a title like this big. If
Hmm.
it's anything italic and all fancy, I call them, swirly fonts. If it's not a title, don't use it. And when I
Yeah,
say title, it needs to be this big. If it's anything less than this big, don't use it. You can use sans serif at smaller sizes, but if it's those fancy fonts and it's not a title, skip it because people can't read it.
yeah, yeah. Bradley, let's jump over here to some rapid fire. Let's talk a little tech, the
Okay.
graphics person. So we gonna introduce this new segment, y'all. I want y'all to let me know for two reasons. One, because I'm a techie, so I kind of like to know what people use and what they like. And two, because we're on Amazon Live and we got to make sure that we talk some tech stuff. Because now that I see that Amazon Live audience is showing up strong with like 80 some people here, we got to make sure that we shout out to Amazon Live folks. All right, so I got a few that I put in here. What's going on, Kurt? I said Kurt just joined in here. Um, let's start with so basically what I'm doing, y'all, is asking people to send me some of their favorite tech. And so the first one I have on Amazon Live, Bradley, you have the 2021 Apple iMac. So tell me about this iMac. Why is this thing so important to you as a graphics person?
Because it's a Mac. No, I was kidding. And, I mean, I've been a
Yeah,
Mac user since
Bradley
the
started the debate,
yeah.
y'all.
I've been a Mac user since the 2CI, monochrome screen, the whole nine. And honestly, back in the day, if you were a graphic designer, all you really had was Macs. Macs were made for designers because they wasn't programmers and stuff, right? But I love this 2021 iMac with the M1 chip. It's smooth as silk. It's fast. It's great for my graphics and for my video, and it just looks cool on my screen. I got the blue one. I'm digging it. Now I don't have the big monster, jumbotron screen like you, Monty. So I have another 27-inch monitor to go with it. Yeah, but I love it. It's really my work screen too for when I do my Keynote tutorials. I put Keynote on that screen as my work screen too. And so I just love
Mhm.
it for its speed, its simplicity. I'm kind of a soups and nuts guy. I keep it simple. It
Yeah,
does everything I need right out of the box. So really
yeah.
digging that.
Yeah, I switched over to the Mac here more, not for the graphics, but just because of what it allows us to kind of do. So, but yeah, the new M1 chips and all the new Macs are incredible. So if you guys
Yeah.
are looking to switch over, then come on over.
Well, the cool
Uh,
thing, it maxes out at 16 gigs of RAM, but that's all you need. Because on my
right.
old Macs, I mean, I had 32, 64
32
gigs of RAM.
fans blowing.
Yeah, yeah. Haven't heard a fan yet.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
I
I'm
don't,
digging
I
it.
don't, I don't miss having airplanes take off in my
Yeah,
workspace.
or to have the big heater, you sit up in there sweating because it's just blowing hot air on you.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Next one I got up, Bradley, in here is one of my new favorite microphones is the Shure SM7B. And I saw someone had came through a little earlier on the Amazon Live side. I can't remember who it was. Marcus, he said I was actually looking for a microphone and your stream popped up. So the Shure SM7B, Bradley, tell me about that microphone.
Man, I love this mic, and it was crazy. I mean, it's not a cheap mic, but I have it on a kind of a cheap mic stand. But I love this mic. I'll put it like this: if you're watching a video on your phone, and I've learned this even through my own studies, people will listen to a bad looking video, but they won't hang with you for a bad sounding video. They don't care how good it looks. If they can't hear it, they out of there. And
Mm,
so once I got my this right, I had to lock in my sound. And for me, nothing was better than this Shure SM7B. And nice bass, nice smooth tone. It comes through clear. I love it. And so
yeah.
combining that with my Rode Podcaster, I had to get my sound right because people will deal with some bad video. They ain't
Mhm.
gonna hang with you too long for bad sound.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say, Bradley, is even if y'all use the ugly cursive fonts, even if you put too many bugs, and even if your lower thirds are too big, at least get your sound right so that we can hear you if we don't want to watch it.
Because it's like a podcast or whatever else, right? I'll listen to a bad looking video, but if your audio is bad, nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. On my audio people. I always mess with them because I can't stand audio. Like I don't like working on audio side of like live streaming production stuff because Chris will tell you like I'll go to him. I remember my buddy, he reached out to me, was had some audio routing issues. I'm like, I know this stuff, I just don't want to do it.
Right,
And then like so I always make the joke like video still better than audio, but like the reality is your audio better be on point. Otherwise, because no matter how 4K your image is or how cool your background is, if we can't hear you, then we're not gonna stay around just to look at a screen. We don't know what's going on. So
right.
all my audio people, yeah. Look, Steve showing up. Content is king, but audio is queen. Okay, I see you. Kurt over there. Sure, what Kurt said. I know Kurt got something. Make sure you make the sound investment over there using puns and stuff. I don't know what that's. What else? Who else is over there? Andre is that Andre? Sure, SM7B is amazing, but please note that you need other devices to make it work with your PC, not plug and play. Yeah, so the Shure SM7B definitely. I did a whole Amazon Live on that whole concept. So if you
Cool.
guys are looking at that microphone, go check out my live stream called Sure Microphones, and I walked through three, four, five different microphones and about plug and play versus having some extra equipment. I know Kurt. If Kurt is not live, he'll probably be live on Amazon here, and he's going to be talking about one of the Shure microphones. I saw him post that too. So definitely check out. If you guys need assistance in like specific areas, check out the people that are in these specific areas for sure.
Right.
Um, let's see here. Next one up, I got Bradley is the Elgato Stream Deck. You got that as one of your favorite devices. Tell me why.
Yeah, I like it. I use it a lot for when I'm setting up my graphics because I have my Bradley teaches for YouTube, then I have my Amazon Live set up. I have my Amazon product review set up. And maybe even if I do something for a client, I'm kind of walking them through what I did for them. So I'll set up my different scenes in Ecamm, which is my preferred live streaming app. And I'll run through my scenes and by programming them into my Elgato Stream Deck and just kind of click my way through it. Now, I'm kind of a graphics guy and I just like to make buttons and stuff. So in the bigger scheme of things, my Stream Deck can become a paperweight at times, and I might
Hmm.
not use it for weeks. But then it might be a month when it's like, okay, I'm programming that bad boy and doing all kinds of stuff. Now I don't have the big, huge one. I'm using the 16 button model. I think it's 16 buttons. Yeah, three rows of six, 18 button model. Um, well, no, 15 button model, 5x3. And the cool thing about it has folders, and so that 15 buttons
Yeah,
is multiples of that, right? I don't need to get the one
yeah,
that covers my whole desk. Some people like the big, huge Excel version. I like the 15 button version and just make a new folder and kind of keep it rolling from there. But I just like the idea to be able to program that, and I can keep contact with my screen, and I know it's the third button is the next thing, right? So I can press a
hmm,
button while I'm looking at the screen here, and it's like I have somebody doing it for me,
right.
right? Because the keyboard's not clicking. I'm not trying to do that and have a bunch of shoulder movement. I just go over, I just reach and I keep my hand laid on top of it and I press my way through it. So yeah, I like the Stream Deck for that, just the smoothness of it and being able to program all kinds of apps. But I use it mostly for my live streaming.
Yeah. Y'all ever have somebody talk about you to your face and they don't realize they're talking about you? Bradley, look, my stream deck is sitting here, and I don't know if you can tell, but like none of the lights are lit up because I am so lazy on getting this thing programmed the way I want because I can't get my workflow down because I don't want to program it and then not have my workflow together
Right.
because I actually use it a lot for I used to because it's not programmed at all right now, like a lot for my quick keys for like websites too, because there's some websites I go to all the time and I don't want to like go through my favorites bar because it
Right.
would be quicker to go there. And then I've also been using them for my lighting too, so I play with
Oh
some of the
yeah.
different
Right.
types of lights and I have it programmed in the stream deck and I'm like, boom, this is change it to red, change it to yellow, just with a punch of a button. And they got a lot of apps now in the Stream Deck
Yeah, they have a
software.
lot of add-ons now.
Yeah.
Now some of them are not what am I trying to say? Some of them are desktop specific.
Hmm.
I guess maybe because that desktop might have that function that the Mac might not have, because it's a
Hmm.
couple of functions that I was because I did a Stream Deck tutorial, and I was trying to show somebody how to, I'm like, the button disappeared, but I forgot I was on, I wasn't on that app. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've experienced that too, going between PC and Mac. I'm like, hold on, I thought I had something there. And it's like,
Right.
okay, that's very why. Thank you guys for following over here on Amazon. Thank you guys for hitting the like button on YouTube as well as you guys are watching this. I see Rome had put in here the Rodecaster Pro is a must have, and I know so many people use that device as well. I haven't quite added it into my setup. I probably will.
Yeah.
Trying to get a brand deal, Bradley. I'm trying to have
Yeah.
Rode talk to Tascam and like, hey, which one of y'all wants to do this? So we'll see. I'll have something on my desk. I don't know which one it'll be. I don't care as long as it functions the way I need it to
Right.
function at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
I'm rolling with the road myself. I dig it. I'm kind of a plug and play guy. I'm a nerd and I'm a techie, but I want easy. I want something I'm gonna
Yeah,
plug in, push up the volume, and you can hear me.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
road provides that.
yeah.
And yeah, so I really like it for that. And so yeah, I'm rolling with the road right now.
Cool. Last one I got on here, Bradley, is the Pixel G1 RGB video light. Tell me about that because lighting gets overlooked sometimes. I
Yeah.
remember someone said, "Yeah, you got to invest your lights." And I got this big old huge soft box now. I got a light over here. I got little RGB light kind of behind me, a little orange glow going on. I was recording some videos earlier today, but tell me about this light you got.
Yeah, I'm actually running two of those. One of them you can see is that little purple hue at the bottom, which is coming from my side wall over here, pointing at it. And then the little yellow one is just beneath where you can see my shoulders sitting on the table, pointing up at my logo to add that little extra highlight. Yeah, but they're both RGB lights. They're not much bigger than my phone, and they can be programmed to any color in the rainbow. And sometimes I'll switch them out, but I have to remember my RGB setup. I take a picture of that so I know what color I had. Yeah, but I love them. And really, those are the only two lights I'm using in my room, other than a ring light right here in front of me, which people don't dig ring lights in a general sense. And because I'm wearing my fake glasses, as I told you guys before, I don't have a glare, so it's right in my face. Um, as I tell people, I'm pigment. What do I call it? Enhanced pigmented. So dark skin, right? So I have to have more light to light me
Yeah,
than people of different skin tones. And so yeah, so I use this ring light. It's not a hot light, it's a cool light. It's right behind my camera. And then I just have my two accent lights behind me. But the thing about lighting, you have to be able to control your space.
hmm,
Because if you got like that blue thing you see back there is a curtain that's over a window, and I have a
hmm,
blackout curtain behind that. So if I turn off my ring light right now, my other lights, it would be completely dark in here, other than
yeah,
my monitors lighting this room up. So you got to control your space before you start adding lighting to it, because you can have a nice soft box right here, but if it gets dark outside, it's going to change
yeah,
all of your,
yeah,
your auto contrast and ISO and all. So right now I'm in complete control of my lighting. And this is the look that I like for my lighting. So yeah, but it's part of, you got to control it. Get all the
yeah.
stuff you need, but you got to control it. So
Cool. I see Michael here on Amazon. Appreciate you following Michael Moore. And then we got another Michael. He says, I teach online and good lighting is critical. Yeah. I was actually repositioning my lights here earlier because typically this light over here is like in the back, but I was recording some YouTube videos, so I've been moving that light around, and then I got this window over here that I work with sometimes, like I said, daylight. I gotta make sure these blinds are closed. I actually do have this blackout thing. I just haven't put it on out there because I actually do like looking out the window. So if I put it up there, I can't look out and see the trees and the birds. Sometimes they kind of inspire me a little bit, but being able to control your lighting is a huge part of it because you don't want to have to keep moving stuff around all the time to
right.
adjust for filming at 8 in the morning versus midday, and so that lighting could definitely change. um Brad, I'm gonna take one more question. I saw one question had came through as we kind of wrap up, um from Beatbox Poet, and it says, in terms of workflow and graphics, which do you prefer, external storage or cloud storage?
I use external storage. I like I said, I'm a nerd. I'm a tech guy, but I like all my stuff wired. I don't do much wireless stuff,
Yeah.
and I want my files sitting next to me in a little box. I don't have to worry about cloud. Some kind of connection don't work. You know, it's coming over the air, and I got nah. I want. I have two external drives right here. One is backing up everything, and one is just an extra drive. Um, I use iCloud on my phone. I don't use
Hmm.
iCloud for super important stuff.
Hmm.
That's just me. Yeah, but I want my drive sitting here in front of me, and I want them wired in. So
Yeah. Yeah. I try to go wired everywhere I can too. All right. I'm gonna take Marcus's question. One last question. That's my last question. I keep saying that's my last question. I
it's
gotta
all
figure
good.
out.
I'm here, man.
Um, Marcus says, "What do you do about sound? Do you use wireless buds or something?" And the reason I definitely want to put that question is because we were talking about hardwired, so he asked about wireless.
Yeah, I mean, actually, now I do have wireless Rodes.
Hmm.
The only reason I bought these is because I do some camping videos and I can't bring all this with me, right? And my phone is my setup. And
Yeah.
so that's wireless, but everything else I have is plugged in. Even my headphones, I don't use wireless headphones. I'm trying to look around my space. I don't have nothing that's wireless
Hmm.
other than these Rodes, which I haven't used actually in a shoot yet. But I bought them for that purpose, and because I needed to have good sound, right? I'm on my iPhone, which my 7 year old grandson may actually be my videographer in some of these things with
Nice.
a gimbal. He loves doing video, and if I put it on a gimbal, it won't be shaky. So,
Yeah.
but but I got to have good sound, so that's why I got wireless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw a question from Steve too in the restream. I'm gonna jump. Can I jump on that one
Oh
real
yeah.
quick?
Yeah. Go
He
sure.
asked about Prezi. It's a graphic software application that does. It looks kind of like PowerPoint on top of your video, has animations and stuff zooms in and out. I like Prezi. What I don't like about Prezi is that everything is on one side. You can't flip the sidebars and stuff like that. Now you can, they have all these different looks, all these different colors and whatever else, but it's still on one side of the screen. So that's what I don't like about Prezi. If it has to be a like, don't like, but I like the idea of the Prezi app and how it's set up and being able to have that stuff zoom in and get bigger and rotate and all that kind of stuff, which can be done with a live keynote presentation with a green screen. So it can be, I try to make Keynote do other stuff that other apps are doing. Yeah, but Prezi is made for that. It's great for that. But what I don't like as a designer and as a like to use things as a tool versus taking whatever it gives me is that Prezi is locked in to one side of the screen. So that's the only
Mm,
thing that's the knock on Prezi for me.
okay. Cool. Cool. Bradley, I appreciate you for being here, taking some time out of your schedule and coming over here and educating me and the audience on all these platforms. Shout out to all you guys that are watching on YouTube. I appreciate you all for being here the whole time, and even part of the time and the super chats. Appreciate you guys for doing that. Also on Amazon Live, welcome. You're going to be a part of this weekly show going forward. It's a little bit of a different style that I'm used to doing on Amazon, where we're talking product specific. But I want to bring something a little bit different to you guys on Amazon because I think it's a tremendous value for people that are looking for equipment. Because a lot of the people that I invite on, we have to use equipment to actually get the job done. So even though Bradley's like talking graphics, you kind of need something to do graphics with. You
Right.
got to use some equipment to actually produce that product at the end of the day. And then also on Facebook, you guys are here on Facebook, but I would encourage you to come on over to YouTube or Amazon Live, just because the experience is way better on those two platforms. Amazon, you guys get a chance to actually see the exact products that everybody's talking about, so you can just click on it. If it's something that you need to add to your setup or your business or your church, that product is there. And then on YouTube, you guys get a chance to like see all the videos that I post. So new videos coming soon. I promise you, I'm working on. I've not uploaded I've not uploaded a video since October. So I got a video that I've recorded about some video switching equipment. I think you guys will like. But yeah, Bradley, as we kind of wrap up here, any 2022 inspiration or thoughts around graphics and branding that you think people should, either start doing or kind of pay attention to, enhance what it is that they're doing?
Yeah, I think the a number one thing, the simplest thing you can do right now, tonight, open up Photoshop, open up Photopea, open up PowerPoint, whatever else, and make a logo bug just to brand your videos and give ownership to your content. And then on top of that, I want to kind of reach beyond this whole branding graphics thing. If you are even thinking about creating content, do it. The longer you wait, the longer somebody else is not getting a question answered. And dare I say, the longer somebody could be out there suffering because you're not providing content that you're the expert at that you can help people with. So I
Yeah.
say get out there and do it. Don't worry about, don't have perfection paralysis. And yeah, we talked about graphics, we talked about sound, but if you got to start somewhere, start with this.
Yeah.
Just use your phone, make the content. Everything is beta. You can always go back and reshoot it later, but get that content out there. So that's what I want to
Yeah.
leave you guys with.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Bradley, for being here. Appreciate everybody for watching. If you guys love this type of content, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I show up, come live, bring some awesome people that I personally know on here and some people that I look up to in certain fields of what they're doing, bring them on here to kind of bring some value, inspire you guys, and kind of educate you guys, help you out along the way. So with that, you guys enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we'll see you next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys enjoy the rest of your